a basic social safety net.
You think prisoners should be entitled to paid vacation?
Workers should be entitled to workers' compensation when they're injured or maimed on the job, which happens all too often.
So they should be covered under our workers' comp law?
Yes, absolutely. Workers are working in dangerous conditions. Should prisoners be allowed
to unionize?
Yes.
You believe that too? Okay.
It's vital that workers
should prisoners be provided with health insurance, matched by their employer?
Workers should be covered by workplace health and safety guarantees.
Senator John Kennedy put a judicial nominee through the ringer on a pretty controversial topic. Should prisoners have the right to earn retirement benefits? Sounds unusual, right? Well, Senator Kennedy thought so too. This back and forth reveals some surprising perspectives on prison labor, minimum wage, and even retirement plans for inmates. So, here's where it all started. Senator Kennedy kicked things off by addressing Ms. Turner, who's aligned with the ACLU's stance on prison labor. He asked her straight up, does she believe that prison labor should be voluntary? Senator Kennedy also asked whether prisoners who choose to work should be paid the state's minimum wage. Then came the big question. Kennedy asked, do you think prisoners should have a 401k? Yep, you heard that right. Ms. Turner, while initially caught off guard, argued that if prisoners were paid a living wage, they should be able to contribute to basic social safety nets like Social Security.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Turner, I want to be sure I understand your testimony. You think prison labor should be voluntary? Is that the ACLU position?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think,
I'm sorry, my microphone was off, if I may answer on my...
Yes, ma'am. Did you answer yes?
My answer is that the majority of incarcerated workers wish to work, but it is vital that that work be truly voluntary and that there is no place for forced labor in the United States. Yes.
Okay. And you think that prisoners who do work are underpaid? Is that the ACLU position?
They are underpaid or unpaid. In your state, many of those workers are unpaid.
Okay. Let's take a maintenance worker, which I assume includes people working in the kitchen. What do you think the starting pay ought to be in my state for a prisoner?
Workers should be paid the minimum wage of the state where they live. And there are true fiscal arguments in favor
minimum wage? Is that
minimum wage, yes.
Do you think prisoners should have a 401k?
I think that, my opinion is not what we're asking about. I'm here to provide information and context for the committee.
Do you think prisoners should be provided with a 401k?
If I may answer, the reality is that if we paid incarcerated workers a minimum wage, it would have net fiscal benefits for the United States.
I'm trying to ask you
workers would be able to pay.
About benefits.
Yes.
Do you think they should be provided with a 401k?
Workers should be eligible to earn into the social safety net. If they're paid minimum wage, workers will be able to earn into Social Security benefits to support themselves.
No?
That does not include a 401k,
Okay.
but I'm talking about basic social safety net.
Do you think prisoners should be entitled to paid vacation?
Workers should be entitled to workers' compensation when they're injured or maimed on the job, which happens all too often.
So they should be covered under our workers' comp law?
Yes, absolutely. Workers are working in dangerous conditions.
Should prisoners be allowed to unionize?
Yes.
You believe that too? Okay.
It's vital that workers
should prisoners be provided with health insurance, matched by their employer?
Workers should be covered by workplace health and safety guarantees. Incarcerated people.
What about health insurance?
Incarcerated people are already guaranteed a basic standard of health care. That is already guaranteed by U.S. law.
Health insurance.
They're already guaranteed that, even though the medical care they receive is usually substandard, and when they're injured on the job, often receive substandard care. They are already guaranteed by law basic health care protections while incarcerated.
Mr. Wynn.
And Kennedy wasn't done yet. He went on to ask if prisoners should also be entitled to paid vacation and workers' compensation if they're injured on the job. Ms. Turner replied with a strong yes, adding that inmates who are working should be covered under workers' compensation laws, just like anyone else. And if you thought that was surprising, she also suggested that prisoners should have the right to unionize. Kennedy looked baffled, asking if she really thought prison unions should be a thing. Ms. Turner, however, maintained that workers, even incarcerated ones, should have rights to organize for safer conditions. Wow, what a conversation. This grilling session gave us a look at some pretty radical ideas about prison labor and inmate rights. From voluntary work and minimum wage to health benefits and even a 401k, Ms. Turner held firm on the ACLU's stance that prison labor should be compensated more fairly. So, what do you all think? Should inmates have access to these types of benefits, or does it cross a line? Let me know in the comments. I'm super curious about your thoughts on this one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.